This time around, Apple has two models, the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. Although the exteriors of the phones may look very similar to last year's, things like the new flash, the water resistance, and a bunch of other little features, including the new camera system, I think add up to a definite purchase, especially if you're up for an upgrade. Both the iPhone 7 Plus and iPhone 7 are now IP67 compliant, which means that they are splash and dust resistant. So not waterproof. You can't just dive into the pool and start using them, but if you do fall in or get pushed in, or you're washing dishes and they fall in the sink, or you're in the bathroom and the inevitable happens, or you get caught in a rainstorm, you're going to be protected, which is much more than you could say for past iPhones, or water damage was one of the big fears. So that is incredibly welcome to see. Both the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus have a 12 megapixel camera with a new sensor. The optical image stabilization is included on both now. Both the camera sensors are now able to capture wide gamut color, further into the reds, further into the blues, and further into the greens than could be captured before. The iPhone 7 Plus also has a second camera, also a 12 megapixel sensor, but with a 56mm telephoto lens. So what this new camera system does is it allows you to shoot at either wide angle or telephoto optically, greatly improving your image quality, especially at a distance. People have had, legitimate complaints about Apple removing the headphone jack from the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. No headphone jack, no regular headphones. It's annoying, honestly. But Apple tends to do these things because it sees where the future is, it wants to push people towards that, and frankly, I don't think most people are going to mind, because the great majority of people use the headphones that came in the box. And those people that aren't, they do have an adapter, so they can continue using their old headphones. The adapter comes supplied, it's $10 if you lose it. So is it annoying to have an adapter for this time period between now and when almost every headphone is wireless? Absolutely. But is it worth making that investment? It remains to be seen, but there are some clues in Apple's AirPods that will explain why. Apple's AirPods come in a small case which acts as a charging device. They're two Bluetooth headphones. So if you'd like to use it with an old iPhone or with an Android phone, you absolutely can. They act as regular Bluetooth headsets and are paired the normal way. But they do have a special pairing method just for iPhones, which is pretty slick. Not to be overshadowed by the lack of a headphone jack, there are other physical changes to these new iPhones that I think are actually very clever. One is the lack of a physical home button. Now you have this touch-based home button, which uses the Taptic engine inside the phone to send a vibration signal to your thumb to make it feel like it's a click, when in fact it is not. There are also two new finishes. One, jet black, and then you have what they call black or black, which is a sort of matte finish. One of the major things that everybody was wondering about with jet is, would it scratch? The answer is yes. In normal pocketing use, it does scratch. There are fine abrasions on the surface of the phone, and that is unavoidable. That said, the finish is amazing. It's really, really crisp. It is not slippery. It fits and holds just fine in the hand. In fact, I actually think that the matte black surface is actually a little slicker. As far as which device, I've always been a Plus user, and I am probably going to end up going this way in the future because that telephoto lens, it's crisp, it gets me a little bit closer to my subject without losing any image quality. So if you're deciding between the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus, it really comes down to how much you want that larger screen and just how much into taking great pictures you are.